Hello and welcome back to Market House, a podcast where we talk all things Disney. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Caitlin.
And we are so excited to be back here recording episode 42 for you guys. It's been a great week. It's been hot and toasty still. It's just not news. I mention it every single time. It makes me feel better about it, though, when I speak out loud about how much I don't like the heat.
But in good news, we did get some fall candles today. So it is
We
coming.
did. So when we're burning them in September, when it's 100 degrees outside, we'll be like, it feels like, right now we're burning one. We're cracking it open already.
Not a fall one.
Well, it's not very fall. It's
No.
vanilla patchouli, and it smells just like the Grand Californian.
Oh my, it smells amazing.
So it feels like we're in the lobby.
I wish.
Just we're missing the piano player. We're missing the giant fire. You know, we're missing everything except the smell.
I love it. It
It's so
smells
good.
pretty, like, right on.
It smells pretty good. So if you want
Love
to
it.
smell, or your house to smell like the Grand Californian, head over to Bath & Body Works. Not sponsored, by the way.
No, I wish.
If you guys want to,
Jeez.
that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
But vanilla patchouli is the scent
Love
of
it.
Grand Californian. Anyways, we actually just finished a fun series on Disney Plus. A little known series. You guys may have heard of it. WandaVision.
WandaVision.
We talked about it last week.
I loved it, guys. It was so good.
Yeah, and we finished it.
It was amazing. There were some tears.
Caitlin was bawling at the end.
I just,
Don't give it away for people who haven't seen it,
I feel like I know her.
even though it's been out a year, or a year and a half.
Yeah, and you know, the drive for those who follow us on Instagram, like, you know, I've been wanting the Scarlet Witch ears for I don't know how long now. I
know.
post about them all the time. My love for those ears just re-sparked, and now I'm like on a mad hunt, even though they haven't been to the parks.
Yeah, and
or been at the parks.
The cast member at the store, we mentioned this, but the cast member mentioned that they won't be back until fall.
Yeah, which is a bummer. I'm hoping we have a couple trips coming up, so I'm hoping at one point we can get I can get my hands on them because I want them so bad.
I know.
But we'll see.
We have exciting news.
Stupendous.
Unbelievably exciting news. We have our first review on Apple Podcast, and Hey Mickey Co. left the kindest review you could ask for. Not ask for, but like, well, we kind of asked for it. We said, hey, please leave a review.
Well, on every episode, yeah.
Yes. I just don't want to make it seem like I was like, hey, you want $5? Leave a good review.
No.
No, it was a genuine review, and we appreciate them so much for leaving it because, again, it was so nice. Let me read it off for you guys again. Hey Mickey Co. left this. On July 21st, we've got such a positive, informative, and entertaining podcast. Each episode keeps us in the loop with all things Disney and has us desperately wanting to return to the magic in Anaheim. Caleb and Caitlin continue to create some awesome content week after week, and we don't plan to ever miss an episode.
That was
How
so sweet.
nice is that?
We were so excited when we saw this.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea.
It was a like, stop what you're doing.
I'm like, we have a review, Caleb.
I know.
I'm so excited. I'm just so thankful and appreciative that people care to leave a review, and it just makes me so
and that
happy.
they're enjoying the show.
I love
like,
it.
Yeah, it's
'Cause,
cool to
yeah.
see that people are liking it.
We love doing this, and we're happy you're here with us and
Yeah.
listening along every week and
Seriously.
listening to us laugh and misspeak all the time.
I know. It's a fun time. So again, consider leaving a review if you haven't already over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Again, we'll read it off on the show if you want to hear your words read out loud. And then also, again, it just helps us out, right? So, you know, we're putting all this work in creating the show, and then it just helps other folks find the show a little easier.
Yeah.
Because Apple promotes these things and Spotify does the same thing. So appreciate it. Again, hey, Mickey Co., thank you so much for the kind words. And again, another shout out to some of our friends over on Instagram. Thank you so much to those who responded to our Instagram story on future episode ideas.
Yes, we had a couple, and they were really good.
Yeah, really, really good. So we want to make sure we cover the things that you guys want to hear, and reading those ideas just helps us kind of go, okay, this is the right track to go, or we'll cut this or add this or whatever.
Yeah.
So
and
good
even,
help.
Even like, you know, it was a question regarding future episodes, but even if just chatting with some people on there.
Yeah.
Like, we've been loving it. That's been happening more and more frequently. So again, we love talking to you guys. We're so thankful for all of you, and we're loving it.
Yeah, and actually this episode was inspired by someone's recommendation.
Yes.
I couldn't think of the word there. I almost said review. Someone's review. Someone's recommendation from that story, and we
She
wrote an
knows.
episode about it.
Yep. And we're so thankful. So we're so excited to dive in and hope you enjoy.
Yeah, let's get into the news. All right, for our first news story, we've got MagicBand Plus finally debuts over in Disney World. So we talked about it last week and talked about how it was going to come out. We were so excited on July 27th. And it did. And mixed reviews so far.
Yeah.
We have not used it personally, but we did watch some YouTube videos of folks using it and read some reviews on Instagram and just people's experience. So not the smoothest rollout that Disney probably could have hoped for. Lots of people, most people I'd say, experienced like low or dead batteries within minutes of opening the MagicBand.
That's a bummer. But you can wear the charger on your wrist, right? But it looks kind of weird.
You look like a robot person.
Yeah, it's kind of odd because you have to hold it. Like it.
So yeah, so that's what I was going to recommend. If you do end up going to Disney World anytime soon, or when Disneyland gets these at some point this year is what they're saying. I'll believe it when I see it. But you'll most likely receive one that doesn't have a lot of charge. And so yes, you can carry around a battery pack to charge it. But yeah, you have to sit there and hold it with you the whole time.
Which is weird. I don't know. It's all right. I mean, again, some of the designs I love, I do have to say.
Yeah.
It's cool if they light up, but it is a bummer about them.
It does, especially when you're spending $45.
Whoa.
That's the ones that are like colorful and aren't the basic colors.
Okay.
The basic ones, I believe, are $35.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I would want to get one that has like a design on it,
I know
or a
you would.
character, or
You like your designs.
I love my designs.
So yeah, it looks like even with the full charge, so even after people charge them fully or they receive them with a full charge, they would die by the end of the night if you were using them heavily. So of course, when you first get them, I'm assuming the first couple days, you're going to be doing everything you can with these things, right? So they interact, like we mentioned last week, they interact with the 50th statues. You can wave at them and like sound happens or something happens, whatever. There's a bounty hunter game in Galaxy's Edge that you can play. And what else? I'm missing. Oh, and they interact with the shows.
Yeah.
So they light up and stuff.
Lighting up.
If you're doing all those things, not even halfway, 3/4 of the day through, it's dying on people. So again, bring an extra battery pack because you'll most likely have to charge it in the middle of the day. So maybe a little oversight, Disney, on that one. A higher capacity battery maybe would have been a better idea.
Yeah. That's just interesting.
Especially when, you're paying nearly $50.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of cash.
That's
Times however many people in your family.
Oh.
So again, a little rough. Hopefully they fix this going forward. I'm assuming maybe future ones that they create will have a bigger battery maybe, and they won't die.
All right, next up we have a little update on Magic Key renewals, and that is that there is no update, which is unfortunate. Currently, a lot of people are probably in the same boat we are. We are past the 40-day mark of being able to renew and still are not able to renew. So basically us and a whole bunch of people that got the Magic Keys before us are kind of sitting quietly, waiting and not able to get dates for Oogie Boogie, Halloween, family trips, which we're currently in a weird position with. And it's kind of a bummer. And I know we've talked about this recently on a couple of the podcast episodes. Disney's being quiet. There's rumors that it's going to happen on this day, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
And then there's another rumor that it's going to happen this following Monday when the podcast comes out on August 1st. Do we know? No one knows anything. It's weird.
Yeah, it's a really weird experience because Disney's always been pretty good at communication, right? So leading up to renewals, they would throw some promo at you, right? Like, hey, if you want to renew this year, we're going to give you a month for free, right? Or you can renew at the previous price. We've raised prices by $100, but you can renew at the original cost,
right?
What have you. It has been silent, radio silence over with Disney. And I think I might know why. This person on Twitter, and again, I'm so sorry if this person's listening. I don't think they are, but someone on Twitter, I cannot find the original post. I can't find the name. I read it last night, and I remember most of it because I sat there and had a conversation with you about it.
Right.
But it was about their idea. Apparently, they've got some connection with Disney, and their, what do you call it?
Their take on it.
Yeah, their interpretation of what's going on has to do with the Magic Key lawsuit. I wasn't believing it. A lot of people have quoted that, like, it's the lawsuit. If you don't know already, someone basically sued Disney, arguing that the verbiage they used, unlimited, right, for the Dream Key, was inaccurate, and that truly it isn't unlimited. You are at you're at the will of Disney with these reservations, and that it was unfair that they were prioritizing ticket holders with reservations versus Magic Key holders.
Right, because you're basically going in with a key thinking, okay, these are the blockout dates. These are the only dates that I can't go.
True.
Whereas technically the dates that aren't blocked out, you technically can't go as well because it's a busy day and park reservations are gone.
And someone happened to reserve that time, reserve the day.
Has been an issue for us multiple times already.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they were making the argument that the verbiage did not read that, the fine print, and that whatever. So yes, a judge agreed and let it pass to trial essentially. And so there's a lot of assumptions out there that Disney's going to settle with this person, and that kind of means settle with. I take that back. It's not a class action, I don't believe.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know too much of the details.
So yeah, it's not a class action lawsuit because we didn't get anything. We would have gotten something because of Magic Key. They would reach out to everyone affected.
with like a notice.
Yeah. So I don't know if this makes sense because they were arguing that more renewals means more damages done to Magic Key holders, and that there would be more payout, right, by Disney. I'm not sure I'm following that. It just hit me right now because I think it's an individual, I don't think that's a small claims court or something. So I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused in the situation because, again, they've never done this in the past. So clearly something or someone is holding them up.
Yeah.
Again, I do firmly believe that they're making revisions to the Magic Key.
100%. They have to be because that was a good point they didn't mention. Even if the damages and stuff doesn't make sense, their point was there's definitely a bunch of Disney lawyers right now rewriting the Magic Key fine line.
There has to be because there's been so much drama around this key. That they have to be changing something. Now, I don't know if it's going to be good changes.
Sure.
But there are going to be changes in place, I think, moving forward.
Yeah, so hopefully they're in favor of Magic Key holders and not so much. I'm hoping they do not hack away privileges, I guess, for Magic Key holders. And yeah.
There's been a lot of talk that people think there's going to be price increases.
I know
which
that
I
for
do
sure.
think is going to happen.
Yeah.
Some people think there's going to be less blockout dates. Some people are assuming that Disney's going to take a lot of the blockout dates away, so there's going to be more availability. Again, I have no...
keeping the reservation system?
Yes, then? I think they will because, again, didn't Chapek say that
it's not going away?
It's not going away.
But I would argue that he doesn't have a say if it's a legal problem.
Right.
So they may change it to where it is 100% kosher legally, and they can say, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to assume too much, but all we know is that Magic Key renewals have not happened.
We just hope they happen soon.
And we hope they happen soon. I hope they can settle this legal thing and we can just all move along.
Because we want to go with our family in the fall. Really
the end of September. We can't they all have their tickets and they all have their reservations. We're stuck. Mm-hmm. So anyways, Disney, please let us renew.
Please.
Take my money, please. I have it all ready for you, wrapped up in a nice little envelope waiting for you to take it. So we can renew our Magic Keys and continue the magic and not worry about all this nonsense
stuff. Yeah.
You know what that music means.
Boom.
It's another edition of Disney Trivia with Caleb
and Caitlin.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
I almost forgot the words we're supposed to say there because we haven't done it. We skipped a week.
I'm just so deep in the music right now. For those who can't see, obviously you can't see us because it's a podcast. We're just grooving.
Grooving?
Moving and grooving.
Grooving and moving. All right, let's get into this. I don't remember who went first last time, but you know what? Why don't you go first this time?
Ooh, okay.
You can ask me all the good questions. Let's do it.
All right, Caleb. Are you ready for your first question?
I am.
All right. What creature is at the end of Mary Poppins' umbrella?
What creature's at the end of Mary Poppins' umbrella? That was a fantastic question. Let me see. Yeah. It's a bird, I know.
Okay.
Just what kind of bird?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a flamingo?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, one more guess. It's not pink.
It's not pink.
No.
It's not a toucan.
No.
I'm seeing the guy from Fruit Loops on it. I don't know. I'm just going to go with... Oh, gosh. I don't want to take up too much time. Flamingo, it was not correct. I'm going to go crow.
No. A parrot.
A parrot?
A parrot. It's like a famous. And the umbrella that they used for filming is on the Disney Wonder.
Where?
In one of the pubs.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. That's so cool.
Yeah. So, yes, the parrot.
Okay, I got that wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, number 2.
Mm-hmm.
In which Disney theme park would you find Mystic Manor?
Mystic Manor, Disneyland Paris?
Incorrect.
No. Okay. Mm-hmm. Can I?
Yeah.
It's
you can do it again. I'll say it one more time.
Mystic
In which
Manor?
Disney theme park would you find Mystic Manor?
No way. I can't believe I'm getting this wrong. Tokyo?
Incorrect.
Dude, no. Hong Kong?
Mystic Manor
Shanghai.
is found in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, got it
Disneyland.
right. Yes.
I want to go to the Shanghai
Pirates of the
Resort
Caribbean.
for pirates, and I would love to go to all the different parks just to ride all the different variations of Haunted Mansion.
So you just said you want to go to Shanghai specifically.
For
and then
Pirates.
you said all
well,
of
no,
it.
for Pirates.
Okay.
And then all the rest for Haunted Mansion.
Yes, that'd be cool.
You got 0 for 0.
Ouch, man.
That's all
I was
right.
0 for 2.
Yeah, I don't know why I said 0 for 0.
0 right, 0 questions asked. Okay, so I did terrible this week. Let's see if you can do any better then.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Okay.
You will see a theme with this week's questions.
Okay.
First question. What's the name of the daycare that Andy's toys end up in Toy Story 3?
Sunnyside.
No. How do you
What?
know that?
I just watched it.
Gosh, dang it.
You were sitting right next to me.
You weren't watching it.
Toy Story 3.
You were?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I must have been busy.
Yeah.
Lame. I should not have asked that then. Okay, good job.
Thank you very much.
What was the name of Jesse's original owner in Toy Story 2?
Ooh.
The name
Oh
of
my
Jesse's
goodness.
original owner in Toy Story 2.
Oh my gosh, this isn't right, but the first name that came to my head was Amelia. That's not right.
It's not right, but it's close. I'll give you one more guess. It's not Amelia, but it's very close.
Okay, hold on. Let me think about it.
The first name, there's a last name. That's the name of a show on Apple TV. I'll just give you that as a hint. What's her first name?
I'm thinking of Coda, which is not right.
Wow, that is not it. I gave you a softball. Emily
Yeah.
Dickinson. But yeah, it's not
Okay.
not Jesse's original
I'm like,
owner,
Emily Dickinson.
But I was trying to be-
Emily. I love Toy Story. We need to watch that again.
Yes.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, so 1 for 2. You did
Pretty good.
better than I did. Well, thanks for joining us for another edition of Disney Trivia, where we get most of the questions wrong, but
That's
it's
all
still
right.
fun.
Hey, we're all here together, so hopefully you guys got them right.
Yeah. If you're playing along, let us know what your score was.
Amelia, why did I? You know why? Because I just watched the Princess Diaries, and
Is
that's
that
her
name in
full
there?
name,
Got
Amelia.
it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for joining us. Join us again next week for some more
Trivia.
Disney Trivia. All right, that brings us to our main segment of this week's episode, and that is how to plan a short trip at Disneyland. And specifically, a full day at the park or just one day. You got one day at the Disneyland Resort or a half day.
Right.
And I'll go into why half days are a thing because they do exist.
And we do them quite often.
We do them quite often, except we're kind of cheating a little bit. It's
Yeah.
not like a true half day and then you leave. It's usually leading up to a trip,
Right.
like the start of the trip or the end of the trip. So we'll get into it. But it's actually, again, like I mentioned, a suggestion from one of our friends over on Instagram.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And let's go into it because you know what? Disneyland, again, as charming as it is, right, being the smaller end at all the parks around the world, it's still a beast to get done in just a single day, let alone a half day.
And we have some conflicting thoughts.
We do.
On a
We were
couple of
talking.
these.
I was a little surprised. So we went and wrote some of this at Starbucks earlier. Shout out to Starbucks. Always providing the good
AC.
coffee. Yeah, and AC. I was sitting there talking with Caitlin, and I mentioned, again, we're going to get into it, but I mentioned, hey, this is what I would do, of course. Like, okay, so I'm writing it. And she's like, that's not what I would do. And I said, hold up. And we had a whole discussion as to why we were both
Friendly
wrong.
discussion.
Yes.
We weren't being like
No.
weird.
Just like, no, this is why this is the right way. So
Yeah.
let's get into it.
I'm ready.
So this is how we're going to start with one day.
Okay.
You've got a single day at the Disneyland Resort. How do you plan for that? How do you fit in everything? And what are our suggestions for
What that day looks like.
that day looks like?
Yeah. Kind of planning around it.
So let's get into it.
Why don't you start?
Okay. So this is what I would do. If I were you, if I were in a situation, if you guys were flying down and you have a beach day, you got a Universal day, and you've got a Disneyland day, which a lot of people do. A lot of our friends do that. A lot of our family does that.
Or they go to Universal. Yeah.
Even though I disagree, I go, you got to spend all 3 days at Disneyland. You know, they got family to see, they got things to do. I get it. You gotta, you only have so much vacation time, only so much cash,
Right.
and you gotta make it work. So this is what I'm gonna tell you. If you have one day at the Disneyland Resort, I would tell you to save your money and do a single day park ticket. Do not waste your money on a park hopper. Yes. Is it easy to park hop? 100%. It's right across an Esplanade, right? It's a 3-minute walk. But not buying that saves you $60 a person. It is now $60 per person per day, right?
Right.
To park hop. That's a lot of money. That's a ton of cash. And also, one day is not enough to get everything done in one park, let alone both parks. So you're just going to stress yourself out even more. So my argument is focus on one park and prioritize there. It's so much more manageable, way less running around, way less worrying about wait times in another park. There's already enough attractions in both of these parks, whether you choose Disneyland Park or California Adventure.
Okay.
Am I right or am I right?
So this is where we differ a little bit. My take on this is I think if you're going to be going to Disney for the day, I think you should take advantage of a park hopper. And here's why. Yes, Caleb did state honest truth. It is very expensive. However, if you're going for a day, you're not trying to tackle a 4-day vacation in one. You're going because you just want a little bit of Disney. My whole thing is, for those people who do a park hopper, there's just little things like you're not trying to do every single ride. You're hitting your favorites. You're going to your favorite restaurant. You're doing Pirates, Haunted Mansion, Big Thunder, and like Galaxy's Edge. And then you're like, okay, you know what? I want to go do Incredicoaster now. And then do Galaxy's Edge. So I think it's more beneficial if you did the park hopper because you're getting two basically parks in one.
Okay.
And again, for those who are going for the day, they already have the understanding that they're not going to get everything done. You know? So I think it's a park hopper. I think it's a better option.
I see your reasoning. Where I would differ, or where I think I'm disconnecting is you're talking like this person's already a diehard.
No. Even if they're not diehard.
Okay, but you're saying like go to their favorites and stuff.
But see, if they're not a diehard though, I feel like they'd have FOMO of not going to their park and they'd be wishing like, oh, if we would have just paid us a little bit extra, we could have gone over to that park. Because you know what? Like honestly, sometimes I don't want to stay in the same park all day.
Okay, but you're saying a little bit extra. That's for 1 or 2 people. A little bit extra is if you got a family of 5 and it's $60 a person more.
I know it's very
That's
expensive.
not a little extra.
This is just if possible.
That's a lot of extra.
If possible, I think it'd be better to do a park hopper.
Okay.
But again, I understand. Again, we don't have a child. We don't have a big family. It's just you and I.
Yeah.
But if you're able to, I definitely think a park hopper is the best option for a day.
Okay.
But again, it's not like it's going to be bad if you only do one.
No, not at all.
Right.
You're going to have a great time either way. Whether you take Caitlin's side or my side, I mean the right side.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
You will have a great time. My argument is it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Disneyland, especially Disney parks, there's so much planning now. It's not so much just pop in and just attend the parks. You got to get a reservation leading up. You got to get, you got to wake up. If you want to use Genie Plus, you got to wake up and get all your times reserved. It's a process. If you want dining reservations, you're planning 60 days out. Good luck getting them the day of.
Well, yeah, you won't be able to.
No.
But that does lead me to my next thing. If I do think with having a park hopper ticket, I do think Genie Plus is a very valuable tool because that eliminates the stress and the, oh my gosh, I have to run over here. I have to stand in line for 2 hours. Genie Plus, again, additional expense. And I know how expensive it is because we usually do it at least once every trip. It's $40 for Caleb and I, which is crazy. But again, it eliminates all that stress. You don't have to worry about rushing over, waiting in line. It's like all that's on your phone. You can get it done, especially if you're there for a day, because that's the last thing you want is to be stressed out.
True. Again, I didn't do the math. I didn't break it down, but like the way you're talking, an additional $60 per person, an additional $20 per person, at this rate, you could probably justify spending a night at a hotel and getting the 2-day park. I'm sorry, not a 2-day park hopper, just 2-day single day tickets. Well, what if 2-day single park tickets?
What if I said this? If you're going to do a single park 1-day ticket, do Genie Plus. If you're going to do a park hopper, don't do Genie Plus.
Okay.
Is that better? Because again, I know it's very expensive.
Yeah, and again, we're getting probably too in the weeds with like costs and stuff. I don't know people's budgets. Some people may splurge on their 1 day there. I don't know.
Right.
But if I was just, for value, for straight value, right?
If it was me, like me personally, I would want to do Genie Plus.
So, okay, that's actually good. So, sorry, we're spending way too much time on this first point.
We're very in-depth about this.
If I said, Caitlin, we don't have, in a world of not having magic keys, right? And I looked at you and said, okay, so for some reason, we've only got 1 day to go to Disneyland, which was, this would never happen. But we've got 1 day. And I looked at you and I said, are we doing a park hopper with Genie Plus? And I showed you that total. You would want to go that route, or would you go single day?
If I only had 1 day to go to Disney, I would.
You're doing it.
Yeah, because I'm like, you only have 1 day.
Okay.
Now, again, that's different for everybody because I'm a diehard.
Sure.
I'm obsessed with Disney.
Sure.
So, of course.
You're not going to mind the running around.
No,
Okay.
because I'm like that one day. And again, to me, that money's worth it. I mean, again, we do a podcast on Disney. Clearly, we're obsessed. But it's one of those things where I would want to alleviate the stress as much as possible and just pay for Genie Plus that day.
All right. I hear you. I hear you and I see you. I may not agree with you, but I do those things. Okay, next point. Next advice. I would make a list of attractions you want to ride and prioritize them, going in with realistic expectations. That's a lot.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, so I would go on the Disneyland app, go on with your kids, if your kids are going, and just go, hey, Billy, Tommy, I'm using those two names because of WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Yeah. So WandaVision, you guys get your picks, mom and dad, you get a few rides, right? Hey, if I had my way, I'd ride these 5 rides, right? And then everyone makes their list and see if those correspond with each other. Like, okay, everyone had Pirates of the Caribbean on their list. That's a priority for us, right? Mm-hmm. Cars, Rise of the Resistance, that is a priority for us. At least get a list going so you know if at the end of the day we got these 5 rides done as a family or as a couple or as a single person, I'd be happy. We'd be happy. So I would go in knowing what you want to do. Please, for the love, do not go in going, I don't know, let's just kind of wing it. You can have a fun time.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of time wasted, though, if you do that.
Sure.
Especially with how busy the parks are.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a plan, especially if it's for a 24-hour, or not 24 hours, just for a park day, which isn't 24 hours. So it's definitely valuable to have that.
I agree. Another tip, and this one would be hard it would be hard for me to do this because I value my sleep. It's beautiful.
But
so
for a day,
I think it's
extremely valuable.
Rope drop.
100%.
If you don't know what that is showing up to Disneyland right when that puppy opens. Even before that. You got to be in line like 30, 45 minutes before the park opens, 7:15.
Even that, people get there like after 6.
I know.
Which is insane.
It's crazy.
We're still snoozing at that time.
I'm rolling for the 4th time that night. I'm rolling over and getting comfortable for another 2 hours of sleep.
Seriously. There's some diehards.
Because I'm on vacation.
Clearly
man.
we're not diehards because
No.
we're not there at 6:15.
That is an early morning. So rope drop, if you're going to be there for one day, for the love, rope drop. You want that precious couple hours in the morning to hit up rides that are normally an hour wait, hour and a half, and you're waiting 5-10 minutes.
Now, with that being said, do not run to Rise of the Resistance.
No.
I know you're kind of like, but Caitlin, that's my ride. I don't want to wait 2 hours for it.
Or, I mean, I know a lot of people haven't even experienced yet. They think it's,
I understand. I have been one of those people. Do not go to that first. That ride will go down in wait time by like the end of the night, after dinner time, before dinner time.
So this is the thing, is that you and 5, 6, 7,000 other people had that same exact idea.
Literally, that's where everyone runs
It's
to.
running to Rise. So actually, in the morning, it's not a short wait. Yeah, you'll wait. Let's say, I think people will go out going, hey, I only waited 45 minutes. That's a huge waste of time. You could be riding rides that never go down because we waited. Caitlin and I we were walking around the park. I looked at the app and it said 40 minutes for Rise of the Resistance at like 8:30. Mm-hmm. And so we said, let's walk over. This was the summer.
Yeah, we always ride it at night now because it's always like
so
lower
it settles
wait time.
down. So at nighttime, when I think the kids are going back to the hotel, when people are grabbing dessert or what have you, or getting ready for shows.
And that's on a weekend too. It's not like we're going on a Tuesday.
No, that's a Saturday or Sunday night. So the wait time will go down around firework time. So go ride it then. Use that valuable morning time to ride stuff that never goes down in wait time, like Peter Pan, if that's a priority for you. Space Mountain.
Or Indiana Jones. And a little quick tip. Indiana Jones always goes down. And I'm talking like the ride goes down. Something's constantly breaking or whatever's going on.
It's a sensitive ride.
Ride that in the morning when there's no problems, because I cannot tell you how many times that we've waited in line for that during the day and it's broken down and hasn't reopened for hours.
Yeah.
And we basically just lost all that time.
Good point.
So.
Yeah, right when you're ready to ride it, right? You're like, okay, let's go wait the 55 minutes or whatever.
And the loudspeaker comes on.
You mosey on over and it's like, oh, it's broken.
Yeah.
So if you happen to choose your one day at DCA, or you chose Park Hoppers or whatever, if you're rope dropping California Adventure, I would definitely hit up Radiator Springs Racers in the morning. Again, it's probably everyone else's idea, but that one is just so long and it's out in the sun. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty brutal line.
That or in Credit Coaster.
This is where I get that. Yes, in Credit Coaster.
Especially in the summertime.
Yes, because most of that line is out in the blazing sun and it's like concrete and it is even hotter in that line.
Right.
But if you're doing Genie Plus for some reason, you can use a Genie Plus on that. So maybe don't rope drop that.
Right. And I'm acting as if they don't have Genie Plus just because those are the main rides.
There's a lot of variables and we can't know what you're choosing to do.
This is if you don't have Genie Plus, definitely try and get these rides.
True. Guardians. That's another one too. But that's another one where you can kind of play around. I know I'm getting wishy-washy at the end here. But Guardians is another where if you rope drop it, yes, you'll wait 10 minutes maybe. But sometimes, that's a good one to rope drop.
I feel like, though, that Guardians gets busier as the day progresses.
Yeah, you're right.
And stays busy at night. Not a ton of people go in the morning. Yeah, we love riding it at night.
Yeah.
So try and do that one in the morning just to get that one out of the way.
Good idea. Stick to quick service restaurants. Do not waste your time at table service restaurants if you only have one day. Mm-hmm. As much as you want to go try out Lamplight, as much as you want to eat, an ideal Carnation Cafe morning, that's eating up valuable attraction time. And you can get pretty dang good food at a counter service restaurant.
Right.
And you can mobile order.
Oh, it's amazing.
Mobile order. Please do not waste your time waiting in line to order with a cast member. Please mobile order. If you've got one day, it's awesome.
I agree.
You can be ordering your food while you're waiting in line at
Alice in Wonderland.
Sure. Mm-hmm. And you go, you know what? We're getting hungry. It's 11:30. Let's order our food, and we'll walk over and mark that we're here. Mm-hmm. You would have spent 35 minutes in line to order that food.
Right. Which is almost better to go start right when you rope drop, go hit the rides, a couple of them, and then mobile order breakfast and then go eat.
Exactly.
If you can.
Yep.
So
pound that when you're walking, get that Mickey waffle in your hand and just
run with it.
Just no syrup. Or if you have syrup, just pour it all over your hand and just
ew, gross.
That's really gross. Hold on, really quick side note. I don't take too much time on this. Caitlin and I have waffles quite often, gluten-free waffles in the morning. You put a little butter on there. I'll put I'm not a child, right? I don't sit there and drown it in syrup.
No, you don't.
I'm responsible. Mm-hmm. I'm getting old. I got to watch how much sugar I'm eating. But I put a little bit on there, right? A little drizzle. You don't put any syrup on anything. Mm-mm. It bothers me. Why?
I like butter.
So you just put a little butter on there and you just eat it plain.
Butter on waffles is my favorite thing.
It's delish. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I will eat it that way. But if you had the option, you have the option every morning to put just a little bit of syrup.
Yeah, I think I just don't need the extra sweetness. Honestly, I like the buttery, savory waffle taste. Now, again, if we're at Disneyland, I do syrup. I love putting syrup. But it's just at home, I'm kind of we have blueberry waffles.
Right.
So
I respect the decision. I just don't.
That sounds so good right now.
I know.
And speaking of our next trip, we have reservations.
We do.
For Carnation.
And we're not breaking our own rules. We're there for 2.5 days. But we're doing a sit down. We're doing Carnation Cafe. And we have not been in there for probably 5 years.
Yeah. And they have gluten-free waffles for you, which is amazing.
They do. So, cannot wait. All right. Let's get back to our list here.
Next tip. Please wear comfortable shoes. I cannot tell you how many times friends or family, they're like, I'm going to wear Air Force Ones. I'm going to wear Vans or Converse.
Converse. No.
And let me tell you, you guys look great. You look cute. You look fashion forward. Love it.
Yep.
The feet, not so much.
Yeah, they get beat up.
It's not good. Yeah.
Caitlin, we've told the story on this podcast once before. But Caitlin wore Converse one time. Her feet were bleeding.
Yep. Caleb literally had to give me a piggyback ride out of the park because my blisters were bleeding.
Yes.
It was terrible.
Don't do it.
Some people can, and I applaud you. But
my little brother can do that.
Yeah, he wears his Air Force Ones. I mean, again, we know a ton of people who are Birkenstocks. Good for you. Those have way more arch support, so that's good.
Yeah, but the Birks are probably fine.
Birks are fine, but Air Force Ones, Vans, Converse, even if you're okay with wearing them, your feet are getting demolished.
Yeah.
You'll
pay for it for a few days afterwards.
Tons of miles a day there.
And so especially we make this point too, even with the 1 day trip, you're like, I'm fine. It's 1 day. We're not spending 3-4 days down there. Even 1 day, especially 1 day, you're going to be probably jogging across the park multiple times to hit up all your favorite rides, Tomorrowland, Adventureland, Critter Country. Your feet are going to hurt, bro. It doesn't matter how long you're staying. It's going to hurt.
And again, I get it, guys. I get that you guys are but I want to look cute. I want to wear that cute outfit. I'm in the same boat. But I'm get some cute athletic sneakers.
Caitlin loves her, what do you call them?
I have a pair of Ultra Boosts, which I highly, 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 highly recommend. They're my favorite. And then I have a pair of Ons.
Yeah, On running shoes.
Those are great for walking around the park. They're super lightweight. They dry instantly.
Yeah.
Getting soaked on Splash
really
Mountain.
Breathable because they're running shoes.
They're super great, yeah.
Yeah.
I love both of those.
I swear by my Allbirds. So for guys, if you need some recommendations, I've got a pair of Allbirds, the wool ones. They're fine. They breathe just fine.
And they have ones for women as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Which I want to get a pair of those. Those are so cute.
They're
lightweight.
Mm-hmm. They've got running ones too, which are super breathable. those are great. And then I do break my own rule. I do wear these like Adidas that are super flat, but I pay for them later. But I mostly rock the Allbirds now.
Yeah, I like those ones.
Next up, mobile order. I mentioned this before about having another line. Again, please, for the love.
It's important.
It's very important. I made 2 lines. Mobile order, because again, you're wasting, if you add that all up, if you wait for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in line at a counter service restaurant, that's at least an hour and a half of waiting in line that you could have used getting 1 or 2 rides in throughout the day.
Yeah.
Sounds so like militant, like you must.
I just think it saves you so much time.
It does.
Like, it's amazing.
All right, this is one where we, again, differ a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I shared my opinion earlier, and Caitlin was like, no. I argue that you should save your shopping for the end of the night and go to World of Disney in downtown Disney. So close out Disneyland or DCA, right? So California Adventure closes around 10 p.m. in the summertime. And we're talking like summertime, Christmas time, Halloween time.
Right.
This is all their extended hours. 10 o'clock at California Adventure, usually midnight at Disneyland, right? I would argue close that out if you got your one day or close to that. End over in downtown Disney at World of Disney, because that stays open till like 2 a.m. or something crazy. And they've got like 90% of what the parks have, all in one convenient location.
Even more than
it's
that.
Like a
They have
shopping.
everything.
It's like a shopping mall. So my argument would be to wait all day. Don't be like grabbing a bunch of bags and stuff, because you're going to have to haul that around the park. You're going to break your mug on whatever Incredicoaster. Don't be hauling that all across the park. Wait until the very end of the night. Save up what you want, or just get an idea or whatever, and then buy it at World of Disney.
Yeah.
That is my argument. I think that is the most efficient way.
Ours are very similar, just I have a couple minor tweaks.
Okay.
So for someone who has literally went on the hunt for merch, like a lot of people do, I think it's extremely beneficial to, and again, at whatever park you're at, it differs. For example, at Disneyland, I have no idea why, and I've talked about this before in the podcast, the stores on Main Street literally have nothing. They're always sold out. They don't have like stock in, or they have like weird sizing, or it's just so that's like, you can tell people have yanked the shirts off the hanger. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
If you're in Disneyland closing out, definitely go to World of Disney. However, if you're at DCA, go to Elias & Co. first before you leave that park. See stuff you like. If they have your size or whatever you're wanting there, get it at Elias & Co. Because I feel like they always have majority of the options in stock, whether it's sizing, hats, merch, ears, whatever it is. Now, if you're kind of like, well, I want to go to downtown Disney. My only thing with going straight there if you leave the park, if the park closes and you're like, oh, World of Disney only has, let's say, a medium and you needed a large, you can't go back in the park and get it. If you're only there for a day, you're done.
That's a good point. If it's something that is hard to get, or like you must get this on the strip, you found something on Instagram, you're like, I really want that, which happens with Caitlin sometimes. She like finds something on Instagram. She's like, well, I'm getting this sweatshirt before we leave.
Yeah.
I think, if that's a priority for you, of course, pop in the morning, grab it or whatever. But I think just general stuff, like if Dad's wanting to grab a hat, if Billy and Tommy want a shirt or something like that, I think it's safe to say you can probably wait till the end of the night and grab it there.
Right. Now, the other thing though, with certain merches, they sell out in the morning. So be on the lookout for that, because like, for example, we've gone multiple times. I haven't been able to get those ears. Scarlet Witch ears.
Good point.
So it's up to you. But again, World of Disney does have a ton of options.
Yes. All right. Next tip. We hate to say it again, because again, it's adding cost to your trip. I understand it's less, nice than Fast Pass and stuff, but Genie Plus is well worth it. If you're going to be there one day and you really want to get a ton of attractions done, pay up the $20 per person and just utilize it. So remember that you get PhotoPass included. So if you guys want some family photos around the park, if you want those attraction photos, you can take advantage of that, download them on your phone, and you have a digital copy included in that $20 per day. Also, if you're looking for, and I don't want to explain how it all works, you probably know how it works, but Genie Plus, you can get, these return times throughout the day for attractions. If you're really wanting, let's say Guardians of the Galaxy for a specific time, and the only time available is like 4 hours from now, try and refresh the app for like 15, 20 minutes. If you guys are walking towards there, more than likely you'll be able to get a time closer to your...
Yeah, because people are always canceling their reservations.
People are canceling reservations, and so some will pop up. So remember to refresh. You're not stuck with that time suggested at first, and sometimes you'll get lucky and you can get a earlier return time.
Another really good tip to keep in mind is make time for at least one nighttime spectacular / show. It's very important. Don't leave Disney without seeing a show. They're so good, especially like World of Color.
That's what makes Disney Disney, I'd argue.
Yes, I agree. And I'm sad to say, but like, again, Main Street Electrical Parade is going to be leaving soon. Disneyland Forever is going to be leaving soon. Go see a show. They're amazing.
100%. Could not agree more. I'm a little partial to World of Color or Disneyland Forever, but those are fantastic shows. But yeah, if you're going to see one, Disneyland Forever is going soon. And if you're going to the park soon and you have limited time, please prioritize that show. It is one of the best fireworks shows I've ever seen in Disney history.
The music's incredible. Yep. I love it.
We rock that at home.
Oh yeah, especially what's the song after called? What's the?
Well, it's I don't remember. It's the Step Into the Magic song, but it's the ballad version. So there's the actual Disneyland Forever song, right? Soundtrack. And then if you look up ballad version, it's the song that plays immediately after the fireworks, and it's the slower version of it.
It's so good. Beautiful. It's like when you're walking out of the park or like running to a ride because it's super low wait time.
It's a tearjerker.
It's so good. I love it.
It's gorge.
And again, at the end of the day, remember that even if you're there for just a day, you're there to have fun. If the ride breaks down, oh well. If you can't get a reservation for something on Genie Plus, it is what it is. Make fun memories, stay positive,
exactly.
Just have a great time.
I think realistic expectations make or break your trip. So like going in and going, you know what? I know I'm not going to get everything done. I know that something's going to break down. Yeah. I know that the churro guy's going to take an extra 5 minutes to get my stuff because he sold out. Like, it's just okay. Stuff's going to happen. It's a theme park.
Yeah, just stay positive and you'll have a great time.
100%. 100%. Okay, so let's get into I don't want take up too much of our friends' times here, but let's get into the half day. So these definitely happen. And let me tell you when these happen. This happens when, you know what, you're flying in and you've got literally a half a day at the park. So for example, Caitlin and I mostly fly in on Thursday or Friday afternoons. And so we'll fly in, late afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock we're landing. And so we're lucky enough to have Magic Keys. And so we'll pop in for half of a day, a night, whatever. Same thing when we're leaving, right? We'll have a flight back home, 5, 6 o'clock. And so we're able to do a breakfast through early dinner, right? Or what have you, right? Late lunch at the park. And some are locals, right? That you don't get to go often. Let's say you don't have Magic Keys, but you've got half of a day for some reason to go with some family and friends, and you got some money and you want to go spend half a day at the park.
Yeah.
So these do happen. So let's talk about pretty much all of the things we talked about earlier apply to half-day visits. You just got to be even more understanding of how things can go.
Right.
In the limited time you have. Our days now are more chill. We probably don't prioritize. Like if we do a half day at the park, it's mostly just to kind of people watch and have a dinner.
Yeah, it's usually dinner and like a couple of our favorite rides. Like we'll go on Winnie the Pooh, Haunted Mansion, and like maybe like Pirates.
Like shorter wait ones, right? Like the ones that are like less than 45 minutes, we'll go do.
It's a super chill night usually.
100%. But, and for some of you this applies. When we first got our annual passes back in the day, half days were still.
Oh, we would park hop like crazy, like literally like 90 times.
Yes.
And that's when we had, what's it called? That thing it was on your phone.
Max Pass.
So you'd be like, we're going to go here. Now we're going to go here. So it's constantly just moving. Now we're like, let's go get an ice cream. Let's walk up Main Street 7 times.
But if you have a half day and again, you're wanting to hit a lot of stuff up, I would prioritize 3 or 4 rides because you're probably not going to get more than that done in a half a day.
Yes, and the later you're at the park, the better.
100%.
Because
families
again, they clear out.
Yes.
So recommend if you are half dayer, go stay there later. It'll be good.
Yes. People, again, be realistic. You're not going to get a ton done, but what you get done is going to be a blast because you're at Disneyland, right? What's the worst that can happen? So post fireworks, post World of Color, definitely go ride some rides because that's when things are the least amount of wait.
Yes. And again, like we have said 3 times already in this podcast, mobile order. Do not wait in line. It wastes too much time. Don't go to a sit down, especially if you're going to be doing a half day. Again, we don't do sit downs if it's a half day. We always go to I almost said Taste Pilots.
Smoke Jumpers Grill.
Smoke Jumpers. Yeah. We only do that or Galactic Grill or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, don't waste your time with sit-down restaurants. That is going to take up a lot of time. Hit up those counter service restaurants and don't waste your time there. Again, if you're going to shop, do it at the very end of the night. Wait till close out Disneyland, close out California Adventure, and do it in downtown Disney or something.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. They stay open so late.
Okay, and for our last recommendation, I would argue if you're doing a half day at the park, and again, I would argue you're probably a Disney fanatic. So you're either spending a full day's worth of ticket on a half-day experience, or you're already a Magic Key holder and you're just happen to have a free afternoon, what have you, I would argue to like slow it down. Maybe don't hit up all the rides and take it in. Like the experiences we remember, all the times that we remember as a couple are just like walking around Pixar Pier. Or do you remember the time we saw so-and-so just,
Orlando
Bloom walking through Adventureland.
Or getting chocolate caramels or whatever it is. It's the little things.
Grabbing a Sprinkles cupcake and talking in downtown Disney. Those are the things that we most likely remember from our trips. And it's less about like Haunted Mansion and stuff. Even though we love that stuff, we remember the kind of more personal moments.
Yeah, the little things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So take a stroll. Go walk over to the Grand Californian lobby and sit in the lobby for a second and listen to the piano player and sit next to the fire. Grab a Sprinkles cupcake and walk around downtown Disney and shop. Or that's fun. That's really, really good stuff. So again, if you have got a half day and you're a normal, if you're a regular, if you're a Disney freak and you're there all the time, take it easy.
Yeah. And like even one of our favorite things to do in DCA is get popcorn and go watch people get soaked on the Grizzly River Run.
Yeah.
It's like a little bridge. So just little things like that. Your day's going to be magical no matter what you do.
100%.
It'll be great.
It's a good time. Well, that brings us to the end of our episode. Thank you so much for listening. And you can find us on Instagram at Market House Podcast and on Twitter at Market House Pod. Make sure to follow us over there for pictures from the parks, for exciting news and announcements and just all things Disney. That is where you should follow us to get all that good stuff. Again, like we mentioned before, consider leaving a review on Apple Podcast and or Spotify. That would help us out a lot. And that just helps us show up a little bit on the search bar and higher up on the results. If that makes sense.
And share the podcast with your friends and family.
Yeah.
Let them know, hey, these people love Disney. Just go check them out.
Exactly. If you've got some people that need a little Disney in their life, send this over to them.
Yeah.
And we'd love
appreciate
to,
Thank you so much for listening. We look forward to talking to you next week.
Bye.